What is up, everyone? Hold on, let me do that. That's a little bit better. What's up, everyone? The very first episode of Ranked and Relentless. We're your hosts. I'm Rob. That's Austin. And we're off to a fucking super smooth start, and I'm pumped on that. This is the podcast where myself and my best friend of the whole wide world sit down. We talk music. We're going to talk about specific albums on every single episode, and we're going to give you our top 5 ranked songs from that album. We're going to give you both of our lists, and then we're going to take both those lists, combine forces to make the definitive top 5 list. And yeah, that's what we're doing here. So thank you guys so much for joining the first episode. Like I said, I'm Rob. That's Austin. Austin, we know each other for a long time. Tell everybody how we know each other.
Rob was my bully in junior high.
Stop saying that. Why do you tell everyone? I meant, you know what the fuck I meant whenever I said that, first of all. You know what I meant. Tell him how we know each other. You always tell it. He tells a story just because I used him one time to break a window with. He thinks that I bullied him.
That's clear indication. That is textbook definition.
Dude, I don't know if you know you, but you deserved it. First,
that is true.
So, but other than that, how have we known each other best for the last, almost 20 years of our lives?
Pretty much music, man.
Yeah, we're in a bunch of bands.
Friends. Pretty much lived with each other for at least 6 years of that.
A good chunk of it, we definitely lived together multiple times. But yeah, we did the band thing for a very long time. We were in a whole bunch of different bands, all kinds of different crazy ass names and shit. Pretty much like the one constant in all the different lineups that I played with was Austin. He was almost always guaranteed to be there playing whichever fucking instrument he felt like playing that week. But yeah, like we did the music thing for a really long time. I know that some people tuning into this show probably best know me, if you know me at all, from my work in professional wrestling. This is not going to be anything wrestling related on the show. We talked about this a little bit off air before filming this pilot. I do eventually, as the show grows and we're trying shit out, I would like to interview friends of mine in the wrestling business, because there's a lot of crossover between guys that were in bands first and then jumped into wrestling. We were just talking about one of my closest friends in wrestling, Zicky Dice, was in a band called Heart to Heart that toured all over the fucking country, played Warped Tour, all kinds of shit. Like, love to get him to come on here and talk a little bit about that, maybe even rank a Heart to Heart album, but that's not what we're ranking today. Today, we are going to rank the album that we named our show kind of sort of after. Obviously, the name of the show is Ranked and Relentless. So we're going to be talking about Reckless and Relentless, the 2011 studio album from Asking Alexandria. Austin, you were the guy that got me into this band, and it was with this album. So, like, tell me, like, because I know you've been listening to him. Like, you were listening to him since his debut album. Like, tell me, like, can you remember, like, some of the first times you heard Asking Alexandria and what it was you really liked about him?
It was just, I guess, I liked metal. I liked heavy stuff, but I really liked just the open notes, breakdowns, high sings, low screams, some high screams. And Asking Alexandria for me was the first band that was like, oh, I really like this genre. Because all I ever listened to was like Linkin Park, Metallica, Derek Breaking Benjamin, Chevelle, all the good stuff. But this kind of opened into, I don't know, different metal that I didn't know existed.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, this was very much like these guys, and to a lesser extent, A Day to Remember, I think were really my introduction into metalcore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like me and you grew up listening to hard rock, butt rock, new metal, shit like that. But you and all of our other friends and bandmates and everything, y'all got into the metalcore movement before I did. Because, like, I remember Stand Up and Scream came out. Everybody loved that fucking record. And, now with the benefit of hindsight, my music taste has altered over the years. I do like it now.
Yeah.
I think I still think it's one of the worst Asking Alexandria albums in that, like, original era, if you ask me. Out of the first like 3-4 albums, it is, but just because they got better. But I remember you mentioned we lived together for a lot of that time. Whenever I first moved in with you, you had we had this little house that we lived together at with basically most of the band.
Yeah.
And I think it was right whenever I moved in, you showed me this album, which had been out 6 or 7 months at that time. It had been out for a little bit, but not crazy long. And I remember you showing me, I think specifically you were like, Rob, there's this one song that I know if there's anything on this fucking album that's going to win you over, it's going to be this one. And it was To the Stage.
Always.
That was like, like I said, I'd heard a couple of things off of Stand Up and Scream. Wasn't crazy about it at the time. I think actually I know I'm sidebarring like crazy. My edible's already kicking in. Which, speaking of, we're going to be trying a lot of shit on the show. We're going to be trying a lot of different segment I want to try, and I want to see if this has got any legs. This is called Rob Gets Fucked Up. It's the name of the segment. I've already eaten a chunk of this 500 milligram edible, and I was thinking about like I was saying, this record came out in 2011. Me and you were living together.
Mm-hmm.
I was 20 at 2011. You were 19, I want to say. So I was thinking about like what we were drinking at that time, what we were getting fucked up on as, teenagers and early 20 kids. You know, there was one thing that I think everybody had. I mean, everybody talks about how they had it and all the blackout nights they had that I never drank. And that was Four Loko.
You're drinking a Four Loko?
Yeah, because I never had one.
Dude, I'm judging with all of my might.
Did you ever have these back in the day?
Never. And there's
really?
reasons. Yes.
Because you heard the stories?
Yeah.
So this is
okay. Look, I've had an equivalent. I've had Red Bull and Jaeger.
Oh yeah, Jaeger bombs, dude. We all drink Jaeger bombs.
That's worse.
I was a Red Bull and vodka, Red Bull fucking everything. Like I was a vodka and everything too. But I never had Four Lokos. This is Loco USA. I've heard this is a tasty flavor. 13.9% alcohol.
And like 800 fucking caffeine in it.
Actually, let me check that before I take this to the head. Let me check the caffeine.
Yeah, it's an energy drinking, or unless I'm not wrong. I know what.
No, it just says alcohol.
See, look, I'm not gonna lie. When you were talking about 2011, I thought you were gonna bring out what we always drank was orange juice and vodka.
Oh, screwdrivers, yeah.
Screwdrivers.
We were big screwdriver guys.
Hypnotic.
That's my favorite.
Or the classic Boone's Farm.
Dude, do they not make that anymore? Because I can't find it anywhere.
I have not seen any, but
all right, we're taking this to the head. We're seeing what all the fuss has been about.
All right, yeah, have at it.
Sucks.
How fucking just salt these battery acid, eat away your stuff.
Dude, dude, it's got like a whiskey burn to it. That's wild.
Yeah, oh no.
What the fuck, dude?
America, baby.
So stupid. But so you showed me this, you showed me To the Stage. I fall in love. Like, fuck yes. I love this. Get really, really big into this album. As I think I meant to say at one point, right before I mentioned how fucked up I was getting, before this record came out, we were in a band that was like, we never did anything with outside of practice a handful of times. And we were trying out some music. And this is whenever I was playing bass and you were playing guitar. And we, for a minute, were covering Not the American Average.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I fucking hated that song. And I'm having to sit here and play it with you guys all the time. And I was like, God, and that made me kind of resent Asking Alexandria. And then you showed me To the Stage, and that changed everything. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. Why wasn't it like this the whole time?
Yeah, I don't know if you ever actually told me a reason why you did hate Stand Up and Scream.
I think I got into that heavy metal scene. Like, and whenever I say that, I mean like your metalcore, death metal, a lot of shit with a lot of screaming vocals, basically. I got into that way later than everybody else did.
That's true.
Like, to me, heavy metal was still like fucking Metallica and Slayer. Like, that was still heavy metal to me.
Right.
So like, and then like, so and that screamo phase too, that late aughts screamo phase, I couldn't stand a lot of the vocalists, and I really like. It wasn't until Danny's fucking balls dropped on this album was whenever I was like, fuck, that dude can sing. Because if you listen to Stand Up and this album back to back, like, even though there's only 2 years difference, night and fucking day in his vocals. It's not even close. And then the same thing happens after this one, whenever they do From Death to Destiny, because he blew his fucking throat out from all the drugs and screaming and shit. Yeah. He sounds like a completely different guy on that. And that's actually my favorite Asking album.
Really? That is my least.
Really? That's my favorite, dude.
No, I can't say that's my least because the Black will.
I was gonna say, like let's not
be the single of that album that should have just been the one thing we got with him, and then that'd have been it. Like, hey, here's a filler. We didn't need that. But
one thing I do want to bring up while we're here, I think through a lot of this, we're going to talk about like concerts that we've been to, and we'll probably rank a lot of records based off of shows that we've been to and shit like that. One of the coolest shows me and you have ever gone to in our lives, and it's going to be one that me and you remember for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Was a solo acoustic performance with Danny Warsnop at a fucking gay bar here in Atlanta.
With a crowd of like 50 people, maybe.
Yes, something like that. Like I've actually got a picture right here. There it is.
That's, that lighting. That beard, man.
Right there, dude. Dude, look at how fucking fat I was, dude. Like that's probably 80 pounds ago. But yeah, that was us meeting Danny Warsnop in 2018. It was such an intimate performance, like you said, dude. Like I'd say 50, maybe 60 people in there. Like those small rooms can be deceptive.
Yeah.
But like it was so crazy, dude. And like it was just 2 hours of Danny playing. He played his solo music, which I know for me, probably for you, the first time we heard a lot of that. I think I'd heard one of those solo songs before. And then he played a few Asking songs. Like he played like Alone in a Room, Into the Fire, Moving On. Like it was cool, man. It was one of the fucking coolest experiences we've ever had.
Beautiful.
Dude, it was, God, that son of a bitch can sing.
It can. It's like the worst voice in the world.
It's weird. It's weird. Like you hear him talk and it's like, how does that voice come out of that voice?
I call him the British Miley Cyrus.
You know what? That's an apt comparison. Like, that's not terrible. That's not a terrible comparison. But yeah, so real quick, we're just gonna talk a little bit about the record, and then we're gonna show you guys our rankings for them and which ones how we see the top 5. So, like I said, came out in April of 2011. They spent June through September of 2010 recording this. So they recorded. They were in the studio for a hot minute getting this one done in Connorsville, Indiana, at the Foundation Recording Studio. I don't know. I don't know nothing about that one.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. Like most of the times, like whenever you hear people like recording at these specific studios, a lot of times like somewhere in Nashville or Seattle or something like that. Like, no, we're going to Indiana. Right. This British band is going to Indiana to record this fucking album. But I'm pumped on it. They put it out. I love the album cover. We base our logo for the show on the album cover with the smashed in TV, except instead of me and Austin next to the TV, it's one of the goats in the adult entertainment industry, Belladonna, on the album art. Which Austin, what's your favorite Belladonna scene?
What?
She did some wild shit, dude. She was into some crazy shit. But anyway, record comes out, does pretty well. All Music gave it 4 stars out of 5. Revolver gave it 4 out of 5. Ultimate Guitar gave it 8 out of 10. Like generally favorable album. Big turning point for the band in a lot of ways. Like they still maintained that heaviness that they would wound up kind of getting rid of over time. But like the hooks, and I think that's the big thing that made them so different was that, you know, they're doing typical metalcore shit in a lot of ways, but like the lyrics are fucking great. Danny's, like we talked about, just such an unreal fucking singer. And it's like, dude, like I mean, out of everybody going at that time, this was one of the better records, in my opinion, of that, early 2010s metalcore scene.
I can't agree on certain aspects because I'm also thinking of like
Hit me.
men in that time. You had, I'm talking about just your basics. No, any other crazy band that nobody's heard of. You had Mice of Men, Memphis Mayfire was coming out then, and also Miss May I dropped their album. That's what got you into. We're listening to Relentless Chaos, and you're like, I kind of likes this. And then I was like, all right, cool. I got just a little smidgen, and I play other little stuff, and you'd be like, nah, that sucks. Can't stand that. I'm like, all right.
Hey,
cool.
hey, Mister was the one.
Hey, that was after Reckless and Relentless came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that was some shit that had me fired the fuck up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this was like very much, like I said, like my introduction in the metalcore scene. This was the record that did it for me. And I'm always going to have love in my heart for this record. Now, as I say that, Austin.
Yes.
The idea for what we're doing on this show.
A shit talking album.
Hey, look, sometimes we might. I don't think there's going to be a lot of shit talking on this one because I think we've pretty much established that we like
I don't know. Breathless can go fuck itself.
But man, you're going to have to. You better calm down or I'm going to come talk to you. So I can't wait till you see my list now. So there's going to be like, right now we're doing this record because it's what the show's named after, essentially. Mm-hmm. I believe our next episode, Austin, you have homework after tonight. We're doing the new Sleep Token record that, as of recording, came out today. I listened to it earlier. Let's just say I fucking adore it. Austin needs to listen to it. When he does that, that'll be, I don't know when this episode's coming out, but it'll be the week after that one. But like, we'll talk retro albums, we'll talk new albums. And it's not always going to be shit that we love. Like sometimes I want to go and like purposely look for bad albums. Like I was having a conversation on the phone the other day with a friend of mine in the wrestling business, another guy who also come from the world of music. And both of us were in agreement that, Saint Anger is really not all that bad. Like, so like that's what I want to listen to.
You throw anything Elvis Presley my way, I got a lot of shit to say.
Oh, brother, I'm not putting either one of us through that shit right now. I can tell you that right the fuck now. I want the show to at least be entertaining. Probably not going to show a lot of clips of the songs for obvious reasons. Don't want the episodes to get pulled or anything, but we'll try to talk about them to the best of our memory. But Austin, are you ready to compare our tier list right now?
Hit me with it.
Okay. I'm going to do that, and bam, there we are. So,
of course,
yours is over here on the right. Let's talk about yours first.
All right.
You told me that the song that you always find yourself going back to all the fucking time, Closure. You put that at number one. Just tell me what you love about Closure.
Honestly, it's my favorite one to play on guitar. Every time I pick up guitar, that's the first one I go to. I do, of course, A Lesson Never Learned, Into the State, and all the good. But what really gets me every time is that little, I think it's a breakdown right after the first chorus where he does the really highs and then he starts screaming fast and he does it really low. That whole thing just made me fall in, like, that's the reason why I love the song. I love the big theatrical ending, the orchestra, that they always do, but just that middle part, it just gets me every time. Simple, nothing crazy, nothing spectacular. It's just the way he does his screams going back and forth that's why.
Well, and Ben Bruce, who isn't with the band anymore, but was their kind of lead writer for that whole time he was in the band. Ben Bruce is a guy that, like, I don't think anybody's ever accused him of being a great guitar player. But with that being said, he did a thing that he was one of the guys I would try to copy whenever I was writing music, because they weren't playing ridiculously hard stuff, but it was super melodic and it was very, very catchy. Like you can hum every Asking Alexandria guitar riff ever.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love about it. Like, and that's the thing, like, as you know, playing with me and us writing music together, that was the thing I always tried to capture. I wanted catchy ass riffs. Like think about like we had a song In the Clear. Think about like the like it's not a hard fucking riff or nothing, but it gets stuck in your head.
Right.
And that's what these guys would do all the way through, even with the later stuff that's not even that super heavy. There's a song on A House on Fire called Take Your Time or Take Some Time, whatever it is. And it's fucking awesome. Like this, it's this dun, 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 dun. It's like 3 fucking notes, but it's so goddamn catchy. Right. That's the thing that they've always been super good at. And Closure, great fucking example of that. Another thing that you mentioned like that orchestral shit and everything. Every song on here is big.
Yeah, the ending is huge. Every one of them.
Yeah, like every song is built up on this massive pedestal. Right. It's fucking awesome. Now, there's one big difference between me and you, or a couple of differences, I guess. The other one, obviously, one of them being Closure. The other one, and this is one that almost made my list, Another Bottle Down. Another Bottle Down, I think, was them kind of starting to experiment a little bit. Like almost like with like, you know,
you're saying like
leaning more into the rock side of it with some of his vocals on that one.
Yeah, it's a lot more yelling. I would call it like, I mean, and that's not what he's doing. It's like, oh, it's a falsetto with a scream, you know, whatever. Yeah. It's yelling.
Same shit he does into the stage. It's so weird to explain.
But like, I don't know. It's that whole like electronic dubstep, whatever you want to call it, into the intro going in. And then it's just, to me, it's just that classic Asking Alexandria. Just fast drums, heavy chorus. I love the Another Bottle Down, like the way they did like the voice effects on it, and he just goes back into the screen. You know, just there's little things like that just, that's why I love.
It's really good. Yeah. It's really good. Everything else we have.
But with that rock aspect, it is like, I guess, softer for me. It is still a favorite, but that's why I put that one, you know, for sure. For me,
it was a banger.
You know.
No, it's a fucking banger, dude. And it was very, very close. It was between that and Morte Dabo. They were fighting for 5th on mine. So we've both got Morte Dabo. I've got it at 5th on mine. Let's go ahead and look elephant in the room here. Before I pulled these up, you said fuck Breathless. I've got it at number 4. Tell me why.
Breathless is a great song. It really is. It just, with all of our friends and the people that I hung out with as well that listened to this, like we did, because you didn't really, Breathless was always the one played. And then they would move on to another band. It'd be like, that's like somebody play, hey, let's listen to Incubus. Let's put on Pardon Me. I'm like, you know, they have 100 other songs. Like, yes, it's a good one, but it's just now became, like, to me, Breathless is like, hey, this is the basic of the album. And everything else was just the evolution of it. That's just the way I looked at it. I guess because it was so overplayed for me. It's like Breathless became that rock song to me. Like,
also wasn't Breathless, if I'm not mistaken, Breathless was on the Life Gone Wild EP, right? Didn't that come out before to the stage? I want to say like there was a version of Breathless before this record came out. So one of the older songs on it.
Yeah, because Youth Gone Wild came out before this album, right? No, that was a whole different thing.
Yeah,
that was a cover album that they did.
Yeah,
wrong one. Yeah, no, yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that had Breathless on it.
I think it did.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not going to look it up. I'm sorry, guys. I should. I really should, but I don't want to fuck
up. A guy named Kyle. Just yell, hey, Kyle, pull it up.
Kyle, pull it up. Like, let me get that, Jamie. Like, fucking, I need a young Jamie. I don't want to fuck up what I've got going on right here with these 2 lists. Okay, so I don't have Closure. Great fucking song, dude. There's not a bad song on the album. Closure's a great fucking song. I think for me, that one was the one that I probably heard a lot more than a lot of the other ones.
Yeah.
I think that's, but still fantastic song, and I fucking love it. I don't have Another Bottle Down. Told you it was very, very close. You don't have Someone Somewhere, and I think I can guess why.
Hey, man, you can keep your ballads.
It's crazy that that's a fucking ballad. Any other band, this is one of their heavier songs ever.
Right. No, like
This is a ballad for second album. If it was on the newest album, it'd be the heaviest shit on the record.
100%. 100%. I don't know what it is, and this is like an internal thing for me because it'll start that whole like open note, and I'm like, all right, skip it. Like I don't even get. He goes the minute he says like the first 3 words, I've already moved on.
That's closure for me a lot of times.
And I can't say nothing about it.
It's a fantastic song, dude. This is right back to, like I was saying, his vocals and then just the lyric writing, probably from Ben, if I had to guess, just so good.
Like I would hate to say, man, looking at everything, it would think it would go Someone Somewhere.
Yeah.
Breathless. Then The Match, and after that, it's Another Bottle Down. So I'm skipping 3 songs of this album that I love.
Yeah, I mean, it's muscle memory.
Yeah,
and honestly, what it comes down to, both of us know, no questions about it. Top 3 on both of us. Number 1 for me, number 3 for you. To the Stage.
Mm-hmm.
It's the song that made me fall in love, dude.
It was the first song I heard from it. I was like, dude, this is sick. I love, and it's like looking back at it now because we play music. We've played this song hundreds of times in our lives so far, and it's just open note. But that's all Asking Alexandria. Open note, and then 8 and 7. You got it. Yeah, you know.
And then 3 and 5.
But something about that simple, just
I'll never forget when I was learning how to play that song. And this is the one, like you talked about, how Closure is one that you're always picking up your guitar and playing. Every time I pick up my guitar right behind me, it's To the Stage almost. If it's in drop C, I'm playing To the Stage.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I remember trying to learn it, and that verse part, and I was like, Austin, how the fuck am I supposed to do that? Because I had no idea. I've never played that, like rotating between the 2 strings like that.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck am I supposed to do it? And then you were like, just try it. And then I played it fucking perfectly the first time. You're like that.
Right. Like, it's not hard, man.
Yeah, it had me fucked up thinking it was going to be way harder than it actually was. Right. It's not hard. It's so fucking easy to play that song.
Because what's funny to me is, like, I listen, and I still do. Like, I'm still, people can call me whatever they want. Stand Up and Scream, I still go through that album. I still go through this one. Most of the time, I'm not skipping songs, but if I'm paying attention to the album, I'll end up skipping those 3 just to get to my last 3, top songs. But the guitars on Stand Up, I'm gonna say, have way more difficult parts than this whole album. Because actually, there's sweeps going on in some of the songs.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Up and down the neck. This one,
I'll give you that.
It's really not like it's. And that's what, like, I think also makes it better. You got more orchestra, in the background, and you just got simpleness and Danny doing his thing. The drummer, always forget his name, but that heel toe technique he does kills it every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really fucking good.
And that's okay. Go on.
No, so now we need to make a definitive list.
Okay.
So let me pull this. Let me change how I'm presenting this. So we need to make a definitive list. We're going to pull mine up, but we're going to talk about yours and mine and what should stay where.
Okay.
So I think it's easy to. Breathless is leaving. And someone somewhere we didn't have in common. So these 3 we had in common. So one of these has to be number 1.
So I will say Marte Dabo was number 2 for me.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that one being 5 because that was my, like, I've listened to heavy stuff at the time. What I call heavy is definitely not as heavy as I listen
this one
to
can
now.
Move anywhere.
But what I'm saying, like, because just the main reason why that was number 2 is that one, like, that gave me that sense of, oh, this is like evil.
Yes.
Dark.
That's what I love about it too.
And that's what brought me into reasons why I'm going to say it, why I love Infinite Annihilator. I love Rings of Saturn type of just over the top, just evil shit for no reason. New Whitechapel album that just came out. Oh my God.
I fuck with it, dude. That new Whitechapel's wild.
That is evil and I'm here for it. So, but because, like, I like that one being a 5. Just unless you feel it needs to go up. I'm
I
okay
feel
with
it
that.
does. I feel it does.
You feel it does? I'm about it. You could.
Where did you have Lesson Never Learned?
That was 4 for me.
4.
Oh no, I think that was 5. I don't remember now.
Let's pretend it was. Let's say it was 5.
Okay.
And then you had Morte Dabo at 2. I honestly am comfortable going Lesson Never Learned at 4, Morte Dabo at 3.
3. Okay. I will agree with To the Stage being number 1 because that was the first one. That was.
And it was number 3 for you. It was close,
Well, the only reason was number 3 is because I can't put that one as number 1 with Closure.
Yeah.
So it's either it's up there with Closure or it's going to be 3 just because of Morte Dabo. It's just
so good.
Love screaming that one.
Morte Dabo is the one that, like, if I wanted to show my mom like Danny's solo stuff, like, little did I know I'd fall in love alone. Like, show her that shit, and then be like, oh, he also does this. I'm pulling up Morte Dabo first.
Yeah.
Like, that's the same guy. So that's fucking banger. Lesson Never Learned, just super catchy. It's a good fucking song. It's a good song. So here's where we disagree. We have Breathless for me, Someone Somewhere for me, Closure for you, and Another Bottle Down for you. I'm gonna tell you this right now.
I'll settle with Breathless.
Because look,
wait, which one was you more a fan of? Was it Someone Somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is honestly what I'm thinking, and I don't want to sway you. I will agree with you. Closure fucks hard, dude. It was your number 1. My number 1 is sitting at number 1. I think Closure can go number 2. Like, I will concede
there is an internal aspect of it, man. I think Breathless or Someone Somewhere should be number 2 because those two, like, that was the top. People knew those songs more than they knew Closure.
We're not talking about other people. We're talking about me and you.
Yeah, well, I get that, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to make this fair.
No, I think Closure, honest to God, no, like, I will concede that Closure fucks hard, dude. Like, it's very much in the same vein of To the Stage for me. It is a fantastic
song. It really
song.
is the same vibe, too.
It really 100% is. So, like, and for that reason, like, and I said, mine got number 1, so why not your number 1 get number 2? It only makes sense. Man. And then I think Someone Somewhere, like, let's just admit here,
it's a great song.
This ballad, which is heavier than the heaviest shit they've put out in a decade, fucking rules, dude. It's a great song.
It is. I will not deny that.
Fucking great song. So this is the list. If you out there have never listened to Reckless and Relentless, why did you come watch this first? That's ridiculous. But secondly, if you're going to go listen to any song off that record for the best first impression possible, we recommend one of these 5 songs right here, To the Stage. Like both of us have said, that was the one that got us into this shit. So that's big time recommend, but you can't go wrong with any of these 5. You happy with this? You think this is the definitive list, Austin?
Man, I do. Because you got soft, you got heavy, you got real heavy.
Morte Dabo at 3 is absurd. That's fucking
That's kind of what I'm thinking too. I know a lot of people that would really like this album and go, I don't like that song.
I could see that for
that
sure.
Whole intro, look, you know me. It is noise. When the band comes in, it is noise. There is no rhyme or reason what's going on. It's just so chunks. But like, it's really not. It's a classic 0, 8, 7, 10.
It's so cool though.
But just
it's so fucking cool, dude. It's like on some King Diamond shit. It's fucking awesome.
Right.
No, yeah, it's ridiculous, but it belongs there.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
You gotta introduce it.
Yeah, this is it. So there you have it, guys. Go listen to Reckless and Relentless whether you haven't before or if you haven't in a while, and start with these 5 songs. I think it's a good way to spend your night. Listen to it right before you go to sleep. I think it's good sleeping music.
Yeah.
It's real good sleeping
It's
music.
good, relaxing music, you know, really put you in the mood.
Yeah, I got
it. Dabo will get you set right.
Yeah, I've got it on the same playlist as Kenny G.
Okay.
It's like some smooth shit.
That's
but yeah, so that was Reckless and Relentless, one of the greatest metalcore albums of all time in our opinion. Let us know what you think in the comments wherever you find this or however you're watching this. I don't even know. We're gonna figure it out. But let us know what your top 5 would be. If you agree with this top 5, and tell us why To the Stage is one of the greatest metalcore songs ever written in the fucking history of the genre. Next week, Austin's got to do homework. He's got to listen to the new Sleep Token album, Even in Arcadia. I listened to it this morning. Fucking adore it. Cannot wait to hear Austin's opinion, and that's what we're going to talk about next week. So, Austin, you pumped on this? Sounds a little bit of fun, right?
Sounds fantastic.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do new albums, we'll do retro albums. We're figuring it out as we go. All right. At this point, like if it came out in 2025, we'll consider it a new album because we got a lot of catching up to do.
Yes.
So I guess that'll be it for this week. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to us.